ReefDudes is sponsored by Brightwell Aquatics and Bulk Reef Supply.
Today we're getting an update on the Waterbox 7225. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, long overdue for an update on the Waterbox. There's been a few changes, so let's get to it. So the tank has definitely been through a few ups and downs over the last little while, and I think it's starting to bounce back, but there's definitely been a few little issues that's happened. One, a month or two ago, I had a big salinity swing, which didn't fare well for the tank. There was a few corals that didn't do as well. One of them, you can kind of see like the vivid confetti, all the middle part died off. Now, thankfully, that things are happy. It's starting to grow back again. It's growing back over itself. So that is a bonus. Also with that guy, the Jason Fox Flame, you can see the whole middle part was starting to die off. So I fragged it out, super glued the edges, and now it's growing back over that spot again. So it should recover, and it is starting to bounce back. So that part at least makes me happy. Now, as for the coral side, Red Dragon, that guy is growing like crazy. It's huge. Montipora Saletta, that guy is growing like crazy as well. So lots of stuff is happy. If I look back here, that one is Hellfire Millie. That guy is putting off tons of new shoots. So that should really take off for the next little while. So super stoked for that. If we look at this guy, that is the Walt Disney. My little mound has done literally nothing, and it's been pretty green with yellowy polyps. Now, if you look to the right of it, there's starting to be some really cool coloration in the new growth that's encrusting. So a little harder to see, but I think all the new growth is gonna look pretty cool in that guy. We come back over here. This is encrusting all over the back wall. So this is the rainbow loom, and I'm super stoked to how it's actually encrusting on the wall. I think it's gonna look really cool when it's coming out in multiple spots on the overflow. I did do some minor rearranging as well. I did move this guy over, and this is the Reef Raft Golden Rod, and it was previously up over here, but the yellow kind of like blended too much with the green, so it didn't really pop as much. Even these two greens side by side bug me a little bit because there's not enough contrast there. So I may move or rearrange one of these later on, so we'll see. But over here, this guy is starting to look awesome. So it used to be a lot more green, and a lot of the yellows are starting to come out in it. And it has red polyps, so super pretty deep water Acropora. And yeah, that one is the Reef Raft Golden Rod. So I started with a tiny little nub, and it's really starting to take off, so that's been awesome. A while back, there was also a couple little chunks that were having issues of something berry, I forget the name of it, but you can kind of see a couple of branches that were starting to die off again. Frag those off, the base is coming back, and I moved a couple little nubs around, and they're all starting to grow back. So that's good to see. Over here we have the Orange Passion. This guy was up here by the Rainbow Loom, but the Rainbow Loom was actually starting to attack it and sting it. So I moved it over here, give it some more space, and it seems to be happier now. Now if we come down to the Gaunties, the Gauntiopores, these guys are happy. Tons of little tentacles, like they're big and beautiful. Now, not the nicest to acros, so I've learned. If we take a look at the bottom of this guy, he's being stung by those polyps. So bits of die off on the bottom there, but then the right hand side is drawing outwards away from it. So hopefully that will kind of just grow and encrust over the rock over time and move itself over. I'm tempted to break off this chunk of it right there and move that just so it doesn't get fully stung. If you come to the side, you can see the tentacles trying to tickle it from all around. So that might be the next little thing. Also had this big branch. Pink Lemonade was over here, and a fish broke it off. So I re-glued it to this side of the colony to help it spread more and branch out more. And that was probably only a couple weeks ago. You can see it's already re-encrusting over the glue and reattaching itself to the rock. So that's pretty good. It seems to recover pretty quickly. Now, I did have a bright green Gauntie in here as well, which looks like is being buried and potentially taken out by this guy. So I might see next time he's closed if I can chisel him off somehow, but it might be hard to get to. But overall, the tank is filling in quite nicely. The one other sad thing that happened is I used to have a big, beautiful, amazing squamosa clam that sadly bit the dust. I woke up one morning and part of it was coming out and all the fish were munching on it. So I have a theory that one of the fish kind of went after it or decided it wanted a tasty snack. I have no idea who actually was the culprit. I kind of looked at it from around the corner, was peeking on it, but I saw lots of fish munching on it. So that was quite sad because I did have that guy for a good 2+ years. and it was probably about 10 years old after all the different people have had it, so that was kind of sad. One slight little benefit is I did gain a little more room in this tank, so I did separate these rocks a bit more, so give it more like the balmy look with different separations. So that part I do appreciate, but still sucks to lose my big clam. Now we wrap around the side of the tank. Some of these Monties are getting to a decent size. Grafted Monties growing. No idea what this yellow one is, but it's super yellowy goldy, really cool looking, and this guy is starting to take off and grow, so I'm pretty happy to see that. I do have this rock which has been completely taken over the utter chaos zoas, and if we take a look at the rain bloom, it's starting to grow into some of the other stuff around here, which kind of expected. It is starting to sting and kill off a little bit of that deep water acro, so I might do a little bonsaiing later just to separate things a bit more, but for the most part we'll let nature take its course and kind of see how things take over time. Now this back corner is one that doesn't get seen all that often, but we do have the orange setosa, and that has been encrusting and growing pretty well back here. Above it we have branching Cyphastria. I might be wrong on the name of that one, I'm blanking on it. But that guy has been growing up. Previously it was stung a lot from the hammers and stuff below it, but moving it up seems to keep it a lot happier. A little burning banana on the rock that's slowly growing out, and this guy is super cool. Take a look up here, that is a rock flower that actually spawned in the tank, so that's a little baby. All the rest are on the sand bed. It's the only one that made it up on the rock, but super pretty color. It's kind of a shame it's tucked away where you don't really see it, but it is definitely a beautiful one. One of my faves, the Dragon Soul Torch. This guy is growing big and beautiful. Tons of heads. I was looking at it, none of them are really fraggable yet. They're all kind of half split, but there's a ton of half mid split heads. But overall, this guy's definitely one of the all-stars in the tank. It is very, very happy. Now in contrast to that, you look at this guy over, and you can see the flesh is receded a little bit, so it doesn't have the flesh come down the neck, which is what I like to see, which this guy has. So not 100% sure what the difference is and why that one's not as happy, but we'll see if we can nurse that guy back. Down below we have the two heads of fathead dendro. Now that started as a single head ages ago, and it started to die off and then brought it back, and then it's been in this tank for ages, and I've actually started to spot feed it again and trying to get it growing a little more and hopefully get this guy to take off. I don't think you can even really get them anymore, so if I can get this guy to propagate and put off lots of heads, it'll be awesome. They're kind of like a sun coral, but they're easier to feed, and they are, you know, semi-photosynthetic, so they're basically an easier version of the sun coral, but really cool guys. So if we take a look down here, we do have the Kelp Mixer, and I did a little mod to it today. I actually put a bunch of zap straps or zip ties randomly along the shaft of it. I put 3 or 4 at the bottom, and every few inches I put them randomly going up the shaft. And this turns out not quite a calc slurry, but it definitely helps it mix up a little more. And it's a little more milky than clear, so I do think there will be a little bit of a kind of not quite slurry, but something in the middle here with doing the extra agitation inside. So I'm curious to see how this works over the next little while, but I expect to see good results from it. Back up we have our little rock flower island, and these guys actually did spawn a few days ago, so that was pretty cool to see. There was definitely a few of them releasing a little bit of love into the water, so hopefully we see some more babies in the next little while. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that quick update on the Waterbox 7225. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next update.